Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to your favorite another story time. I hope you guys are excited and have your wine and your snacks. If you hear Buffalo going across the floor right now, I am so sorry. That's my two toddlers. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Today I have a story that I was reminded of because I did get a massage recently because a bitch is getting old. And I was reminded of this date that I went on. It was a pretty okay date. Nothing terrible happened, but I definitely did not talk to this guy ever again. And I was probably pretty petty. Probably, I don't know, maybe I was warranted. Y'all will let me know in the comments, of course. Make sure you glance down real fast and see if that subscribe button is being shown some love. If not, definitely take care of it. Take care of it. Take care of it. So for those of you guys that have been with me for a minute, y'all already know about my high school situation, and I was in a relationship for almost 2 years. By the time I got out of high school, we broke up and I had just turned 19. And during this time when I was single, I was just going on dates for funsies, okay? Honestly, I was just anybody, like if somebody wanted to take me to dinner, I was going. If somebody wanted to go to the club, I was going. Like I was constantly in them streets, okay? I definitely think that I was doing all of this to be like, I can move on. I don't need you. I am not hurt. I ended up getting a new job. This is when I got my car. I was just like, you know, putting my life back together, you know, becoming a boss bitch and like, you know, taking care of my shit. I was, as y'all know, I was going out on an every weekend basis with my then best friend, Heather's funky ass. And we would go all types of places, clubs, dorm parties, you name it, where they, of course, it's back in my heydays, girl, where I could be up all night and then turn around and get up early the next morning to go to work. I don't think I can do that now. But definitely back then, girl, I could operate on like an hour and a half of sleep. Try me. On top of having my job and my car and, you know, like trying to be my own woman, I also was treating myself for the first time because I had the money to. Buying myself a new pair of shoes here and there, you know, like taking myself on a small shopping spree at Forever 21, just stuff that I wasn't normally able to do before because, you know, a bitch used to work at Ross and shit and I was making no money. But now, you know, I had improved a little bit, and honestly, it was like the minute that I left my ex, like my whole life was just so much better. And like no shade, no tea. But that's just how it worked out. You work in an office, you learn about some bougier things. And some of my coworkers started talking about this massage place that they had like monthly massages. And some of the executives that I worked with, they had me schedule like their monthly massages. And sometimes they even had them like bi-weekly. And they went to this massage place that was downtown and they all went there. And they all had like monthly subscriptions, like monthly memberships. And they would get massages all the time. And they would always say it's necessary. It is so necessary. Like, you know, I have issues sleeping if I don't. A, B, and C, these are all of the reasons why it's a good thing for you to invest in massages and make sure that you're getting them on a regular basis. So I was like, no way. Like, bougie? Okay. One day came around, one of the executives asked me to go ahead and book one of his massages for that afternoon. And I was like, okay, cool. So I called the massage parlor. It's literally like 2-3 blocks away from our building. They know my executive's name by heart and they already know me by heart. So I talk to my girl that works there. So we get the booking done and he can go during his lunch hour. Before the conversation was over, I was like, hey, by the way, like, what is the cost of the membership? So she was like, why are you interested? And I was like, yeah, you know, like I think I've had like 1 or 2 massages in my whole life because of like weddings and stuff. But like I had never had like a membership or like gone on a regular basis. So I was like, yeah, you know, like I think I might be interested. I just wanted to know if I could afford it. And so she starts telling me about the packages and stuff, and like the basic package was very affordable. And she was like, oh, and by the way, the first 30 days, you'll get this discount so you can try it or whatever. And I was like, okay, say less. At that very moment, I end up opening my own account with this place. And she was like, okay, well, why don't you come by before the end of the week? We'll have some paperwork for you to sign and then you can start booking your appointments. And I was like, okay, cool. So fast forward some time, I end up finding time to go down to the massage place. And I go in, everyone's very nice. It smells there's a lot of like aromatherapy going on. It smells like essential oils and relaxation up in that piece. They have like, you know, the sound of water and like this little mini waterfall in the corner and like the Zen music, and it is so relaxing. So I go in there, I sign the paperwork, you know, I put down my payment because like they charge you every month, and then you have X amount of massages that you can use within that month, which I thought was super cool. I think I had like a twice a month limit or something like that, but I didn't know what kind of massage I wanted. I didn't really know anything. So I was like, let me just test the waters. So I start making my appointments, and now I feel like I'm that bitch. I am that one, okay, bitch? Like I get regular massages, and you know, I end up going to work. I tell my executives, I tell my coworkers, and they're like, oh my God, you're gonna love it. Like try this massage, no, try this one. So they're like giving me the recommendations. Start making my appointments, right? And at this point in time, they always ask you like, do you have a specific therapist that you want to see? And I didn't, because I didn't know anybody. So I was like, whoever, like I don't care. So I go the first time. It's amazing. But the girl that did my massage, it was that amazing because she was an amazing massage therapist. And she was like, honestly, I'm starting to book up a lot. So like, I can't see you for another like month and a half. And I was like, wait, what? She was like, yeah. She's more of like the vet therapist, where like she had been there for a really long time. She already had her customer base. So I enjoyed my massage with her, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get consistent massages from her because she was so busy. Fast forward, I get another massage therapist. So I just kept doing that. Every time I was booking massages, I just put anybody, you know what I mean? Well, girl, I don't even know how long. I must have been going there for like 3 months at this point, and I was still saying like, I don't really care who the massage therapist is. My appointment came around and it said, you're gonna be having your massage with, we'll name him Chris, okay? So on my appointment confirmation, it said, you know, reminder, your appointment's coming up on this day with Chris so-and-so for this type of massage. And I was like, ah! I don't even know why I didn't even fucking think about the fact that, like, yes, obviously there are male massage therapists, but like, I did not take that into consideration when I said anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I tried not to freak out about it. I was like, whatever, this is someone's profession. Like, don't even think too much into it. Fast forward, I get through my work day, and right after is my appointment for my massage. I take off from my building, I head to the massage place, I go inside, they sit me in the waiting room, and you know, they give you tea and, you know, just stuff to relax. And so I was sitting there, I was reading a book, I was drinking tea, and I had a good like 10-15 minutes before my appointment. Finally, I was the last person in the waiting room, and I see this guy approach the glass door, and the glass door is like frosted, so you can't like see directly into it. You could just see like someone's silhouette. He like walked up to the door and put his hand on the handle, but he was like talking to someone else. So he stood there for a good minute. So I'm like trying to see him through the frost in the fucking glass, and I'm like, oh my God, like just by the sound of his voice, I could tell that he was young, like young. Immediately, bitch, immediately my heart starts beating so fast. He's got blonde hair, he's kind of skinny, he's a little bit taller than me, and he's very calm. Like the way he talked was very calm. And so he opens the door and he was like, are you Nikki? And I said, yeah. And he goes, hi, my name is Chris. You know, I'm gonna be your massage therapist today. You know that moment where like you're standing with someone and like you see each other for the first time and you're like, oh wow, oh wow. Like it was one of those moments. Like, yeah, he could not have been older than 22, 23 max, okay? He was very, very young. I'm over here 19, and so we're like in each other's age. I had never had a massage therapist that close to my age before. So I'm like looking at him and I'm like, it's you? It's you? Oh my God. I follow him back. And he's like, okay, we're gonna be in this room here. And of course, you know, the normal spiel, what do you want me to focus on? Okay, and like, you just let me know the type of pressure that you want. And like everything, bitch, I was getting red in the face. And I was like, oh my God, like stop reading into it like that, bitch. Like, don't be nasty. Now you can undress to where you're comfortable and then just get under the blankets and I'll be in a few minutes. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, sounds good. Yep. He leaves the room and my heart is fucking racing, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I start reading too much into it, right? I'm reading very, very deeply into it, and I'm like, okay, if I get all the way naked, he's gonna think that like I want him. But if I keep all my clothes on, he's gonna think that like I'm fucking weird. I didn't get fully naked. I was in my bra, in my underwear, okay? And I had some like little boy short underwear, so I didn't feel too exposed. I get in the bed and like I just like pull the blankets over me, and I'm like laying, you know, in the little circle like this, and I'm just like staring at the floor like, bitch, this man's about to come in here and rub all over your body. Bitch, I start thinking all types of shit. Did I shave? Did I shave my legs? Do I have lotion on? Oh my God, like I just start like, am I prepared for this? You ready? Yup, I'm ready. Y'all know how massages work, okay? So he starts doing his job, and he, you know, has some essential oils going on in there. He starts playing the music, and he starts getting to work. So he starts on one side, and he goes from my arm down to my feet. I don't know what it was, but like I just felt like he was taking extra time on certain areas. Like he was taking a lot of time on my thighs, and he was taking a lot of time on my feet, and just like really getting in there. And I was like, okay, maybe, you know, like maybe he knows what I need. I don't know. He goes down the other side, he comes back up, and he starts rubbing on my arms, down to my forearms, down to my wrists, and then he starts working on my hands. So he has me like this, and he's going down, and he starts, you know, stretching out my wrists and stuff and like whatever. And then he puts his hand around and he interlaces his fingers with mine. Bitch, I'm like this. I'm like, is this inappropriate? I don't know what I should do. So I just kind of like try to stay as relaxed as possible because I don't know what to do. I feel so fucking awkward. He is just like gripping onto my hand, and he's just like, you know, doing the circles or whatever. He's stroking onto my fingers and like, you know, doing a really good job. Very thorough, all right? Now, I know all of y'all gonna be like, bitch, that's his job. I am telling you, there was a spark, bitch. There was a spark. You know, you could feel through somebody's touch their intentions, bitch. And like, I had never had a massage therapist touch me and make me feel like that. I lean towards, this is just his job, okay? This is not a sign. He does not like you like that, bitch. Calm down. Then the moment comes where you gotta fucking flip over, bitch. He grabs the blanket and he like looks over towards the back of the room, and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna have you turn over now. Okay. I feel so exposed. Now I'm facing the ceiling and I can see everything he's doing. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna close my eyes. He does the whole thing all over again, but with me facing upward. It was a very nice massage. He did a very good job, very thorough, very gentle. And throughout he kept asking me, you know, is the pressure okay? I ain't even gonna lie. Whenever he was like rubbing my feet and like towards like the bottom of me, I was like sneaking peeks. I was like, okay, kind of cute. Fast forward, my 60 minutes is up, and he like squeezes my legs, and he was like, okay, you're all set to go. Why don't you go ahead, get up slowly. You can get dressed and I'll meet you out in the hallway. I was like, okay, cool. I like wait for the door to shut, and like I sit there for like a good 5-10 seconds to make sure. And then I finally get up, I get dressed, and I'm like, and in my head, I'm like replaying the whole thing over and over because it was just so charged. Does that make sense? Like you could feel it. It was the vibes. Like there was something, it was very tense, okay, in that room. And I was like, is it tense because I'm making this into more, or is it tense because there really was like a little bit of a spark? Like, am I crazy? I get dressed, and as soon as I open the door, he's standing right there with like this small cup of water, and he was like, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel so good. You were really tense. You know, on this side, he starts telling me what I need to work on. He was like, I definitely like to see you more so we can work out, you know, some of those knots. Bitch, the whole time, eye contact. This boy was very heavy in the eye contact. And I was like, okay, you want to work? You want to work out my stress? Okay. He was like, how do you feel about coming like bi-weekly to come see me? And I was like, what are you gonna say? So I was like, I mean, yeah, that's fine. He was like, all right, cool. He grabs a card and he starts writing something on the back of it. Y'all, this boy opens the door for me and he goes, oh, by the way, I put my personal number on the back if you're ever interested in coffee or dinner or whatever. I'd love to take you out sometime. I looked at him like, I fucking knew it. I knew that I wasn't tripping. Oh, bitch, you are not crazy. I leave that massage place like fucking beaming, okay? And part of me is like embarrassed because I'm like, oh my God, like he saw every part of me. Like he's all rubbing all on me and stuff. And this was just really weird for your massage therapist to like ask you out right after your massage. Like I was just like, oh my God. I don't know how much time went by, but I ended up texting him and I was like, hey, you know, I don't know if you remember me. So we start talking back and forth. You know, obviously he works downtown. I was like, yeah, you know, I work right there. We end up planning a date. We're gonna go to a dinner date. I end up telling my mom that I meet this guy. And she was like, where did you meet him? And of course I tell her the whole story. And she literally was looking at me and she was like, Nikki, and I was like, what? She goes, this sounds like a recipe for disaster. I was like, no, he was so nice, Mom. I was like, he's cute, he's nice, he's got a good job. She was like, yeah, about his job. And I was like, what? She was like, you don't think that like what he did to you, he's like doing to other girls? No. I was like, I don't think so. She's like, look, just go have fun with them. You know, it's no big deal. It's not anything serious, but like, just know that you're probably not the first one. You know what I mean? My mom is very straight up with me. She was like, let's not kid around, okay? Because like if he's cute to you, he's probably cute to somebody else, and like who knows. And in my mind I was like, no, I am the exception. Okay, there was a spark there. There was connection. I am not just another client. How dare you insinuate that? I get ready. I am so nervous and I meet him at this restaurant. He was kind of late when I got there. I was the first one there, which I fucking hate. Like I hate just like standing there all super awkward. Like I don't know what to do with myself, with my hands. Do I look at my phone? Do I look like I'm waiting for him? I don't know. He finally shows up. He takes me inside the restaurant. They seat us. Everything is a really good experience. You know, everything starts off well. They brought everything out to us. We start eating and we're having really good conversation. He's funny. You know, we don't really have a whole lot in common, but that's what made it interesting. And I just remember that he talked a lot. He talked a lot with his hands and everything. Normal schnormal date, okay? We get towards the end of our meal. And by this point, more and more people are coming into the restaurant. It's getting later. All of a sudden, I see this group of people that walked right by our table. And at the end of that group of people, there was like, I don't know, fucking like 3, 4 girls. And you know, they're about our age. And they're like falling behind of that group that just walked in. And all of a sudden, I see one of the girls and she like looks over at our table and she looks at both of us and then she like does one of these to like her friends and she was like, and so immediately, bitch, I'm like, what? The other girl, she looks over, she looks at him first and then she looks over at me and I'm like, me and her lock eyes in that very moment. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What mess is this? Like, I could just sense it, bitch, in the air. It was mess. Y'all know how shit works out for me. Y'all know when it comes to drama, it will fucking find me, okay? I will be minding my own goddamn business. So they end up walking past and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I certainly knew that I did not know her or any of her funky friends. So I look over at Chris and I'm like, well, maybe they know him. They end up being seated at another part of the restaurant and I didn't see them anymore until the end of our date. And he ends up paying for the meal. We're having like the last pieces of our dessert. We're laughing. We're having a good time. All of a sudden, bitch, I see 2 girls walking our way. And I look up and one of the girls was the one that looked at me in the first place, okay? The other one was another one of her friends, I'm guessing. Tell me why this bitch for real does a pretend double take. And she goes like this, Chris? Oh my God, Chris, what are you doing here? Because it's the first time you seen him. I done seen you look right at him and me, bitch. Why you over here playing fucking the Oscar Goes To, bitch? What do you think this is? A fucking TV series? You can't even act. I'm annoyed because I can read fakery all over her. And I was like, this is the first time you see, okay. Chris turns around, looks at her and like is so cool and calm about it. And he's just like, oh, hey, Brittany, how are you? He gets up. he gives her the biggest hug, right? And he's like, oh my God, it's been forever since I've seen you. Where have you been? And she was like, oh, you know, I ended up going to college over here and I'm back visiting family for this and that. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, I thought I lost track of you. And I'm just sitting there like, nobody's talking to me. Nobody's saying anything to me. He's not like, hey, Nikki, this is my friend or whatever the fuck. And so I'm just sitting there. Y'all, they have a whole ass conversation just standing over our table like that. Okay, like a whole ass conversation. And according to this conversation, they had gone back quite a ways. And then she says this. Oh my God, you're still working at so-and-so massage, huh? Chris is like, yeah, you know, like I've been doing so great. Like I love it there. And she was like, oh my God, good. She was like, do you have any availability soon for me to come see you? And he was like, yeah, you know, I can check my schedule. She was like, what about tomorrow? Does tomorrow work? And she just looks over at me and I'm like, okay, bitch. Okay, bitch. He's not picking up on any of this. Nothing. So he takes out his phone. And he's like, you know, looking through his schedule. He's like, yeah. He was like, actually, I do think I have like an 11 a.m. tomorrow. Does that work for you? And she goes, yeah. She was like, that works perfect. She was like, here, let me see your phone. She was like, I got a new number. And he was like, okay. So she puts her name and she was like, obviously I'm under Brittany, but I put the little mountain emoji because remember when we went hiking in the mountains that one time? It was so awesome. And like, I think about it all the time. Chris is like a really nice guy. And he was like, oh yeah. He was like, dude, I remember that. Oh man, that was such a good time. And she was like, yeah, we should do that again soon. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. Yeah, he is agreeing to all of these fucking plans with another girl right in front of me. Like they're legit standing over me, bitch. Like just all kinds of, you know, plans and massages and let's go hiking together. And like, I'm just sitting there like immediately I start like fuming and like in my heart, I start fuming and I'm like, this is embarrassing. And not one time did either one of them stop and be like, I had a lot of pride back then, a lot. You are not going to have me sit here, bitch, and watch you make plans with the person that I'm out literally on a date with right now. You're not going to make me do that, okay? You're not going to have me looking stupid. I got other shit to do, people to see. I got a life, okay? Don't fucking misunderstand. I'm here because I want to be here. But if you want to have your conversation with him and you want to take my spot on this date, bitch, be my guest. So I get to the point where I'm like huffing and puffing and I'm like, all right, well, like there ain't no conversation for me. So I get up, I grab my purse and I was like, Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. And he was like, what? He was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, you know, I live right down here. It ain't no big deal. I was like, but you know, thank you for tonight. I really appreciate it. He was like, yeah, you know, and to be honest, he did kind of just like, he didn't shoo me off, but like, it was just like a really quick goodbye. And he was like, all right, well, text me later. You know, I'd love to do this again sometime. Like, thank you so much for coming out. He was like, and don't forget, you know, schedule with me. And I was like, yeah, of course. So he says that and she immediately looks at me. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I get massages by him too. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, you know, I will. I work right around the corner from you. I was like, it'll be super easy. And he was like, that's true. That's true. Girl, I wasn't about to rebook with his ass. I was just saying that to get under her skin. Y'all, I end up walking out of that restaurant alone. I walk all the way to my apartment alone. And all I can think about was what my mom said before I even went on this date. And she was like, that seems a little sus. I went home. I got ready. I called Heather's funky ass and we went clubbing that night. And I was just talking to all kinds of dudes, acting all kinds of crazy because my feelings were hurt about how that date ended. And I just felt like, part of me felt like he was just using me, or like this is how he got more clients, was like he would get younger girls to get massages by him and then like, you know, start the whole with like giving them his number and taking them out. And then all of a sudden he's got girls to come see, you know what I mean? And I just didn't want to be a part of that. So he did text me a few times after that, but it was mostly about whether or not I was going to come see him to like reschedule with him. And I was like, bitch, no. Bitch, no, I'm not doing that. I didn't want to go on any more dates with him. Like, that just turned me the fuck off. I went as far as calling that damn massage place and canceling my membership. And I did have to go in there one afternoon to go sign paperwork to cancel my membership. And he was fucking there. He's standing behind the fucking front desk waiting for one of his clients or whatever. And I'm there talking to the receptionist. And I had to come in and I was like, hi, I'm here to sign my cancellation paperwork. Immediately, he just looked over at me and he's like fucking like just staring at the side of my head the whole time. She prints out the paperwork. I sign it. I don't even look at him. I don't say nothing to him. I don't look at him. I just don't want the awkwardness. It is what it is. I've made my decision. And you have plenty of other clientele that you can tend to. Okay, boy, like, don't even try it. After that, I never went back. I never texted him, and I never saw him ever again. Call me petty. I'm not, the date went fine. He was a perfect gentleman. Everything else, great. Maybe I was just being way too judgy. Maybe I was being petty. Who knows? But I wasn't about to stick around to find out. So that is my story for today about the time that I dated my massage therapist, how that went, and why we stopped talking. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sure you will. Of course, make sure you show that subscribe button some love. I would love to have your fine ass be a part of my glam fam. And here are my socials if you'd like some more Nikki in your life. I'm going to be having more giveaways on my Instagram, so definitely meet me over there. I'd love to see you. But anyways, without further ado, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I love you so much, and I will see your fine ass in my next video. Peace out, y'all. Watch out for the massage therapist. I'm just saying, because y'all really know how to touch people in more ways than one.